What's going on, you guys? So we're back again. As you guys can see, I'm so excited because I got my manifolds, actually attached to my cylinder heads already. As you guys can see, I had to purchase the one on the passenger side, which is the right side. I had to purchase the manifold because like mentioned on the comments for the previous video, it was actually the other one had a crack on it, and I did not want to put it on like that. So before we set the cylinder heads over here to the charger, as you guys can see, I got the baby over here sitting. We got the engine block already clean. You guys can see it's so clean, looks so nice. So before we sit them over there, of course we got to put the head gasket. So which head gasket goes where, because both of them they can actually fit either or. But now there's a little trick about it. But before we get to the next step, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna tighten those oxygen sensors. Now the oxygen sensors, I'm gonna reuse the same ones because I never had an issue, and I guess I'm gonna use the same ones for now. So now the torque spec for this is actually 17 foot-pounds. So just like a FYI for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them down, and then we're gonna go and sit them in the engine block. Okay, so now we're back in the engine. I don't really have to clean it, but since the car been sitting here for like 3 months already, and I've been working on the engine block because I've been waiting for the cylinder heads to be resurfaced and all that stuff. That took about almost a week and a half. So I basically use the time to clean the engine block. Now it might have some dust on it or something, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use some brake cleaner, and this actually pretty it's pretty good. Gum out, it cleans pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead, instead of spraying directly to the engine block, I'm gonna spray it to a rack over here, and then I'm basically just gonna go over here and just wipe it. You don't have to like scrub it no more because it should be clean already. So it's like we're just basically trying to clean the dust off the heads or the engine block. Do the same thing for the other side. Now my knock sensor, I'm actually not gonna touch it either because it seems to be okay. I never had an issue. I decided not to pull it out when I was cleaning the engine block, so I hope it's still okay. So now coming back to this right hand, as you guys can see, right hand and left hand. Let's see, let me focus. Right hand is gonna be the passenger side again. So this is actually gonna be facing up. Okay, so also another thing, it has to be face up. You have to be able to see the letters. Okay, so this is the right hand and it faces up, just like that. And then this is the left hand, which says it over here. Also make sure if the numbers, like the letters, faces up. Make sure that it sits nice and even. And then also to double check, you guys are gonna come over here and make sure that the holes basically match to every single one of them. Go ahead and take your time. And it seems like they all do. Now if you guys are curious, if you took a picture of the old one, before you guys took them off, then you guys can go back and make sure that it basically looks the same. But sadly, the dealer gave me the car disassembled, so I'm really not sure, like if that's how it goes. But I do know, because it's actually written on top of the head gasket, right hand and left handed. So there is no way you guys can get them confused. So next step, sitting the cylinder heads on top of it. Okay, so let me go get the cylinder heads. I actually got a little step stool over here in front of the bumpers, so I can use it like a step and then climb on top of my hood. So I'll be right back. Put my leg in here and then sit over here in the very top of the bumper, and then without breaking anything basically I might have to move this head gasket so I can step on. Just move it out the way. I'm gonna sit it right up here. And I'm still holding the cylinder head on my other leg. So I have it right here. Now, make sure that these little guides doesn't come off. Okay, I'm gonna rest it there for a minute. It should lined up by now, but for some reason it's, oh, there you go. Finally, we got it lined up. Bring you guys over here. Took me a minute, but it's lined up. You guys can see the head gasket is right in between, so you know it did not move. But guys, I'm not gonna lie, the freaking driver's side, which is the left side, it gave me such a freaking headache, man, that I was about to just give up, man. I was about to just pick up the cylinder head and just throw it on the floor, man. That's how freaking aggravated I was. But you know, at the end, you know, I got it to go in. Now the reason I'm gonna tell you really quick, you know, because I don't have a video, since, you know, I got so angry and I was like, no, I'm done. So I stopped recording. The reason why I stopped recording is because for some reason the cylinder head was not going in. So one of the things I did was I removed the manifold, which as you can see is nothing in here. I removed it so it can be easier for me to, you know, to line it up. But now that's not it. The left side, which is the driver's side, also I had to remove the plates in the back and that little housing gasket. I had to remove it so I can push the camshaft that way and I can sit the cylinder heads straight down. That was the only way I will, you know, I was gonna be able to, you know, get this to sit even. Now, once I got it sit in there even, for some reason the camshaft was not sliding in no more. And I was like, why is it not sliding in no more if it's supposed to be lined up? So one of the things I did, I was like, after, you know, trying for like almost 2 hours, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put this bolt down and I'm gonna go ahead and torque it down. So I haven't torqued it all the way down. So as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys will be able to see because it's dark. Cylinder head bolts, I only did it to the step number 1, which is foot-pounds. We did it to 45 foot-pounds. So right now they're actually tied to 45 foot-pounds. Now, so now that they're actually on 45, I was able to grab the camshaft from the back and push it in, and it went actually in super easy. So as you guys can see, now it turns. It was not turning. Even if I was to able, you know, even if I was to set the cylinder head and if I tried to hit it, like smack it, it will go in with so much force. But then when I come with, you know, with my hand to try to turn it, it will not turn at all. So I went and torqued the cylinder head so you can actually like press them down and lined up even. And then I pushed the camshaft in. So now it's actually turning. So let's go ahead and do the right side so you guys can see. Now one of the things I'm gonna do so you guys don't miss it out is on the left side, which is the driver's side, I have the bolt right here. Now you always want to replace the cylinder head bolts. Always. You don't ever want to use the same ones. So we got the new ones over here in a package. So now this is something that I actually learned from college. You always want to grab oil and lube it up, because you know once you tighten it down, they get hot and there's a possibility that it could break. So let's go ahead and do the same thing to all of them, and then I'll be right back to you guys. Once you guys have it in, then also the next step that you guys want to do is don't ever start, you know, turning it right away. Start turning it with your hands so you know you got it lined up. There's actually a sequence on how you gotta turn them in. As you guys can see, we have a paper right here. It might be a little hard for you guys to see, but we're gonna start. This is, let me see, Go to the previous one, 2. So it's gonna be a number 1 right here. This is going to be, which side it is? Oh, right cylinder head. So this is actually right. So this is how we got the cylinder head over there. So we're gonna start by doing 1, which is gonna be this one right here, and then 2, 3. To get it started, you know, a little bit quicker, now that I know that they're actually turned, because I turned them in by hand, I'm gonna go ahead and use this really quick, but I'm not gonna tighten it all the way down, just enough until they snug all the way to the bottom. Right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now that we got them on all tight down, you know, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and climb up here, so I can actually see, because it's pretty obvious when it's tight. It kind of like beeps, you know, like solid, and when you're getting close, it kind of beeps like rapidly. So right now we're gonna do it. Oh, let me turn it on. Right now I have it set to 45. So we're gonna do this one first. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, like tell the difference. When I'm like close to like 40s, it kind of like beeps rapidly, and when I'm like exactly on 45, it beeps solid. One, 2. So now this one. Go. So now that we got them on 45, the next step is gonna be, let's see, you guys can see on the paper, step number 2, 65. So we're gonna increase this to 65. And we're gonna be doing the same procedure. Start with this one, 65. There we go. It gets a little scary, to be honest. This is the first time me doing this, and I'm kind of scared though. Now I'm gonna be doing the left side, which is the driver's side, and there's a sequence for that. So let's go to the sequence for the other one. Should be about the same size, except that is the other side. There you go. There's the sequence. So first we start with this one, 65. One. Four. Five. Seven. Eight. So now that we got to a 65, we're gonna come over to the next step. You guys can see, once you guys get a 45, which is the very first one, we'll go back in 65, and then the step number three is double check it and make sure he's on 65. So we're gonna go ahead and double check it. First, we're gonna start with the one on the right side, which is gonna be right here. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Yep, and check up left side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now that we got them all at 65, the last step is gonna be number 4. Step number 4, do a quarter of a turn. In other words, it's gonna be in a 90 degrees. Okay, for the very last step, which is the very scary one, we're gonna be doing the same sequence. So we're gonna start with this one. Now we're gonna be using a brake bar for more leverage. We're gonna do 90 degree. So turn it, and you guys gotta stop right here. That's a quarter of a turn or 90 degree. Then do the top one too. Same thing. It would be much better if I can start on a straight angle. One, two, and then this one. Four. Almost. Running out of strength. There you go. 4, and then 5. There you go. Remember, this one we started a little bit more this way, so that should be about 90 degree. 6 is kind of like starting a little bit off. 7. And then 8. There you go. 8. Okay, so now we actually got them all in a 90-degree angle. So now the next thing we're gonna be doing is do the next one, which is gonna be this one. Now we're gonna start facing down and then up. One. Two. See if I can use the other one. More, it's bigger, more leverage. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. Last one. 8. So now that we got all of them turned into a 90-degree angle, that should be about it. So there's nothing else for you guys to do. So that basically calls today's video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Now I just gotta put the plates in the back of the housing. You guys can see, turn so easy, and so is this one. So I'm gonna put the plate in the back, the housing, and the manifold.